Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be going through some basic sewing terms with you that you may see when you are reading patterns or looking for sewing projects. So I'm going to give you a quick brief explanation of what they are and what they mean. First one is right sides together, and what that means is when we have a piece of material, it has two sides. It has the right side that has the pattern on, and it has the wrong side which is just plain. So right sides together means that you are going to place your material with the right sides together, and you would then proceed to sew that, and when you have sewn it, then the right sides will end up on the outside of your project because you would then turn them over. Wrong sides together is where we're going to take the wrong side of the material and we're going to place the two sides together, and then we would proceed to sew it, and the wrong sides of the material would normally end up in the center of your project, so you wouldn't get to see them. Fray refers to the unravelling of the threads at the edge of your material that looks quite untidy when you are doing your sewing projects. The raw edge is the edge of the material that has been cut that is unfinished, and it is also likely to fray. Selvage is the finished edge of fabric that is produced during manufacture. This is tightly woven and doesn't really fray, and this can either be white in some materials or it could also be patterned to match the material. Bobbins are small spools of thread that are inserted into the sewing machine to supply the bottom thread for stitching. A spool is a round object that holds thread that is used on a sewing machine. Press is what you would do with a small heat press or an iron, and you would use it to press out any creases in the material or make it flatten. It can also be used for pressing seams as well to make those flatter. Presser feet are attachments that can either be metal or plastic that attach onto your sewing machine, and each presser foot assists you in performing a specific task. Like this one is a zigzag presser foot, so that will help you perform a zigzag stitch better than just using a general presser foot. A seam is a line of stitches that is used to sew two or more pieces of material together. A seam allowance is the space that is between the seam line and the edge of the fabric, and the most common seam allowances are 0.5 centimetre, 1 centimetre and 2.5 centimetres. Back stitches are 3 to 4 reverse stitches that you perform at the start and end of your seam to stop the stitches coming undone. A stitching line is usually a line of thread that has been sewn using a needle. Straight stitch is the most common stitch used for sewing two pieces of material together, and it can also be used as a top stitch. A zigzag stitch is a side to side stitch. This stitch is often used for finishing off raw edges to prevent fraying. The zigzag stitch is the second most common stitch after the straight stitch. A seam finish is a way of sealing off the raw edges, and this is commonly done by using a zigzag stitch, but it can also be done by using pinking shears to make a jagged edge. A top stitch is a decorative stitch that is used on top of material to finish off a project. This is commonly used to close openings, add seams, and can even be used to add pockets onto projects. The upper thread is the thread that's threaded through your machine, and that will make the top thread in your sewing projects. Bobbin thread is the thread that's inserted in the bottom of your machine, and that produces the bottom thread on your sewing projects. I really hope you found this quick sewing basic terms helpful. If you did, then please check out my sewing playlist, which I will list in the description below. Please consider giving me a like and a subscribe if you are enjoying these videos, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.